And here is an example with moss stitch in a couple of different colours, worked on top of each other with white in between.
Hello makers, I'm Marion from Love Crafts. I'm here with the brilliant Chloe Bailey, who's going to show us how to add fabulous edgings onto your tea towels.
So to join the blanket edgings to the edge of the tea towel, we're going to start with a blanket stitch along the edge, and this is the starting point for all of the edgings, which are then crocheted into this blanket stitch. So let's start with that. So you're going to start with your tea towel, some cotton, a needle and your scissors. You can use any colour cotton you like. I'm using white to match the tea towels. So once you've threaded your needle with your cotton, we're going to join in the corner. Working through the back is a nice place to start. Into the corner like that. Pull it through. And then I like to do just an extra little stitch in the corner so that it's definitely secured there. Now for the blanket stitch, I'm going to work back to front about 1 centimetre along, and you're going to keep these stitches nice and evenly spaced. You've worked back to front and then front to back through that loop, and that gives you your first blanket stitch with the thread running along the top, and this is where we're going to crochet into later. So working along with a nice sort of centimetre gap. You don't have to use a ruler for this or anything, but just by eye, nice and evenly spaced. Again, working back to front and then front to back through that loop. And you're going to continue working this all the way along the edge of your blanket as your base row, and then we can move on to the next step. So I'm going to start with my red Paintbox Cotton DK and a 4mm hook. I'm going to join the yarn in this corner blanket stitch. So working through the blanket stitch as you would into any crochet stitch. I'm going to join the yarn with a chain, and then I'm going to work a single crochet and one more single crochet stitch into there. Now if you've spaced your blanket stitch about 1 centimetre apart, 2 single crochet stitches fits really nicely into those gaps. I'm going to work all the way along in this way, popping 2 single crochet stitches into each gap. So once you've completed your first row of single crochet stitches, we're going to add the contrast colour, and I'm using the Paintbox Cotton DK in white for this middle row. For this border, I'm going to add the contrast colour into the second stitch so that when the third row is worked, you see you get that nice edge in the red there. So we'll add this white into the second stitch here. Just need to pull that yarn through with a little chain and then a single crochet into that same stitch. Now this row is a moss stitch row, so we're going to start by chaining 1, skipping the next single crochet and working single crochet into the second stitch along. Chain 1 again, skip the next stitch and work into the stitch after that. Again, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, work into the stitch after that. So you have gaps between your white stitches on this row. I'll show you one more time. That chain 1, skip the next stitch and single crochet into that next stitch. And you're going to carry on in this pattern along the rest of the row, and I'll meet you back for the next step. So for the final row of this border, we're going to go back to the red Paintbox Cotton DK. So we're going to start by joining the yarn into that first stitch. And we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is going to form the nice little curve on the edge of the corner there for that final row. Now our first moss stitch on this row, instead of working into the gap between those 2 white stitches, we're actually going to work into the missed stitch on row 1. So 2 rows below, that single crochet stitch there that we skipped over, we're going to single crochet into that stitch. Chain 1 and do the same again. We're going to single crochet into that missed stitch from row 1. And you're going to carry on in that same stitch pattern all the way to the end. So when you reach the end of this final row, just to finish it off, we're going to chain 2. You can cut your yarn here and pull that end through just to secure the end. And then you're going to sew your end into that first row. And that's going to give you a nice matching corner edge, same as what we had at the start. And that is your simple edging.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed learning how to make this crochet edging for your tea towels. We'd love to know what you're going to make using this pattern, so let us know in the comments below. And you can click on the next video for some festive edging variations for some proper festive fun.
Proper festive fun. We'll see you soon. Just relax.
Or no hands.
Okay.
Where do you want me to look?
Fabulous Chloe Bailey, who's no, that's right. Okay, I'm Marion from Lovecraft. See, it always takes me a few goes. Hello, bakers. Oh,
Hello, bakers.
bakers.
Oh.
It slipped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My face has gone on. Perfect on the edge here. We've got them on a tea towel. No.
No, that was good.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Hello, bakers. I'm not.
Click the next videos to watch